Picture this. It's the 1300s in Europe, and there's a sinister shadow lurking in the alleyways. But it's not what you think. The real danger isn't hiding in the darkness. It's walking in plain sight, right under everyone's noses. Imagine a world where your furry feline friend is considered a servant of the devil. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what people believed back then. Cats, especially black ones, were seen as evil incarnate. But here's where it gets really interesting. This superstition didn't just lead to a few unlucky cats losing their 9 lives. It may have changed the course of history. Now, you might be wondering, how could a fear of cats possibly be that important? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through one of history's darkest chapters. Let's set the scene. Europe in the 1300s, a time of castles, knights, and intense paranoia about cats. People were convinced these purring balls of fur were up to no good. Black cats? Forget about it. They were practically seen as Satan's housepets. This wasn't just a case of, I'm not really a cat person. We're talking full-blown fear and loathing. So, what did people do when faced with this feline menace? They took matters into their own hands. Cats were hunted, persecuted, and killed en masse. It was like a medieval version of pest control, except the pests were actually innocent animals that had been living alongside humans for centuries. But here's where the story takes a shocking turn. While people were busy playing cat and mouse with their feline neighbors, a real threat was brewing, and it wasn't wearing a fur coat or sporting whiskers. Enter the rat. Now, rats have never been the most popular creatures, but in this story, they're the silent villains. You see, rats were carrying some very unwelcome passengers, fleas. And these weren't just any fleas. They were infected with a deadly bacteria that would soon bring Europe to its knees. Can you see where this is going? In their zeal to rid themselves of evil cats, humans had inadvertently rolled out the red carpet for the real bad guys. Cats, as it turns out, were nature's rat control. By decimating the cat population, people had unknowingly given rats and the plague-carrying fleas they hosted free rein to run amok. And run amok they did. The Black Death, as it came to be known, swept across Europe like wildfire. Cities became ghost towns. Entire families were wiped out. The scale of death and suffering was almost beyond comprehension. Now, let us be clear. We're not saying that killing cats was the sole cause of the Black Death. The plague was a complex disaster with many contributing factors. But it's hard to ignore the irony. In trying to protect themselves from an imaginary evil, people may have made themselves more vulnerable to a very real one. Think about it. If the cats had been left alone to do what cats do best, hunt rats, could the spread of the plague have been slowed? We'll never know for sure, but it's a chilling thought. This isn't just a history lesson, though. It's a stark reminder of how superstition and fear can cloud our judgment, leading to decisions that have far-reaching and unintended consequences. It's easy to look back and shake our heads at the misguided beliefs of the past, but are we really so different today? In our modern world, we might not be burning cats at the stake, but misinformation and fear still have the power to drive our actions. From vaccine skepticism to climate change denial, we're still grappling with the dangerous mix of fear, superstition, and scientific ignorance. So the next time you see a black cat crossing your path, instead of worrying about bad luck, maybe take a moment to appreciate the complex role these animals have played in human history. And perhaps, just perhaps, it might make you think twice about the unseen consequences of acting on fear rather than facts. In the end, the story of Europe as war on cats during the Black Death era isn't just a quirky historical footnote. It is a powerful parable about the dangers of superstition and the importance of understanding the natural world around us. It reminds us that sometimes our greatest threats aren't the ones we can see, but the ones we create through our own ignorance and fear. As we navigate our own modern plagues, be they literal viruses or metaphorical societal ills, maybe we can learn a lesson from this feline fiasco of the past. The next time we're faced with a problem, let's take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and make sure we're not throwing the cat out with the bathwater. Because who knows? The very thing we fear might just be the thing that could save us. And in a world that sometimes feels as chaotic and unpredictable as a medieval European town, we could all use a reminder to keep our wits about us, and maybe, just maybe, to be a little kinder to our feline friends. So, the next time you curl up with your cat, give them an extra pat. Not only are they great companions, but they might just be keeping the rats, and who knows what else, at bay. In the grand tapestry of history, even the smallest threads can make a big difference. And sometimes, those threads are covered in fur and purr when you scratch behind their ears. In the end, the tale of Europe's misguided cat crusade serves as a powerful reminder. In our quest to protect ourselves from imagined evils, we must be careful not to open the door to real ones. It's a lesson that echoes through the centuries, as relevant today as it was in the plague-ridden streets of medieval Europe. So next time you're faced with a black cat, instead of crossing the street, maybe cross your fingers and thank your lucky stars that we've come a long way since the 1300s. At least, we hope we have.